Hello there everyone, 154 here. Today I'm going to show you what to expect for the rest of July. And let me tell you, this month has lots to offer. From very high temperatures to severe weather, here it is. But before I continue, I would love to give a shout out to Intrepid Explorer, Weather Watcher, and Raging Weather. They are all very, very awesome channels that definitely deserve your attention and your subscription. The links to their channels are in the description below, so let's continue. So first off, most of you have probably at least heard some mention of an incoming heat wave. Well, here's the map. In the bright pinks, you can expect temperatures to get to 110 degrees and higher. And it is not out of the question that with models hinting at it, that we see at least a few locations get to 120 degrees for a day, or maybe even a couple days. That's very, very hot. We'll make it the hottest temperatures of the year. That's also where staying outside will have the least benefits and the highest risk of heat strokes and other heat-related illnesses. And with little humidity, exposed skin will especially feel the heat. It's gonna be torture. So now would be the best time to prepare. The heat wave is already beginning with some heat advisories in Nebraska, Kansas, and Oklahoma. So expect the worst to begin Monday, last for probably well into early August, it's looking like. So now, moving on, the darker shade of pink is where you can expect it to get to 100 to 110 degrees. Although slightly less dangerous, that's still very hot, and heat-related illnesses are still likely to occur. The humidity will also be higher at times, especially when the cold front nears during several occasions with different cold frontal passages. Now, with all stages, it will vary, especially in the northern half of the plains. As a matter of fact, Nebraska into northern Missouri northward will vary from 100s to one day and another drop into the upper 80s and 90s just to rise again. The southern half of these zones, however, are looking to stay fairly consistent. Also, the humidity will be higher at times, especially on days of severe weather, again with different frontal passages. And with higher humidity, it will mean that shadows, unlike with low humidity, will still feel unbearable. Then lastly, you have the maroon red color. That's where you will see temperatures get to 90 to 100 degrees. It is possible, however, that especially into the Tennessee Valley, that we see a few locations see slightly higher temperatures on the hottest day or days. The zone will also see the most humidity, and in the whites, it should get into the 80s at the most. As for temperature stats, some areas will be well above normal during the heat wave, while it could be below average outside the heat wave. Looking at sometime the week after next week, somewhere from the Great Lakes into the Ohio Valley could see at least a couple of days of well below temperatures, but the exact details on that are unknown. But in the case that does come to fruition, then expect highs to only reach into the 50s and 60s. So that concludes the temperature portion of the veil. Now to move on to the severe weather portion of the veil. As for the severe potential, July definitely will not be lacking those. Now remember, severe weather will occur outside these zones, just at a less frequent way. Right? What the heck? Especially in New England with cold frontal passage. So with the maroon red area, you can expect severe weather with the passages of warm and cold fronts, hence the term warm and cold front riders. That means that you will have severe weather come in waves, one day riding the warm front as it lives northward, into the second when the cold front comes through. That also means you will, for the most part, have the most intense severe weather. Also, speaking of that, sneak peek into August, anywhere from the 1st to the 4th, we could see a massive outbreak of severe weather. Looks mainly the upper Mississippi Valley to the western Ohio Valley. Now, again, it's very far out to the future, and for all I know, the CFS might remove it altogether the next run. The orange is where You will mainly receive severe weather from the moisture off the Gulf of Mexico, filtering into the north, and then receive severe weather when the warm and cold fronts move through. Now, while maybe a bit more frequent here, it will also be less intense overall. Also expect less storm organization too, as you will not have as much bulk shear in the atmosphere as with the zone to your north. And lastly, the brighter red zone. Here, most of your severe weather will derive from your typical instability, moisture, leaks coming off the Atlantic, and especially the Gulf of Mexico. And again, it's going to be your average afternoon pop-up thunderstorms with a severe storm here and there. Now, however, it is still entirely possible that we see a couple of cold front protrusions move into the area, and those would definitely produce severe weather. But again, not as intense as with the orange and maroon red zones. So that concludes the outlook for the rest of July. Hope you all enjoyed it, and see you soon in another forecast. 154 out.